Hi, my name's Aaarti and I'm the graphic designer for this project. My role involves developing graphics for app illustrations using computer software packages. This involves determining the size, color, font, text, and message that our app wants to deliver.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm going to be the app developer for Uni-Verve's application. I really think this app can be something that revolutionizes the way students and residents of the college come together. I want this application to be something that's fun and engaging, with a really slim, basic design which can be used in their day-to-day life.
Hi, I'm Michelle, the data analyst for the Uni-Verve app. My job is to mine data that has been collected and aggregated into our database. This includes information that has been collected by the tagging JavaScript our tag manager has integrated into our app. My job is to then do analysis on top of that mined data so that we can gather insights on how we can improve and optimize our app.
Hi, my name is Nathan, and I'm the tagging manager of the team. Essentially what I do is I integrate tagging JavaScript into our mobile application. What these tags then do is they collect visitor behavior, information, and data, which we are then able to analyze to improve customer experience and optimize our results. So, who is our application for? I could go and live there.
As we saw with John, he was acquired through Facebook, a social media channel. He's a recent high school graduate who's looking for a place to stay when he attends university. He's part of the major component of our niche market of customers, which are formed by the youth of the community. And this is the reason why we will use social media as a main channel for marketing and raising awareness. Not only is social media more suited to our younger generation of target customers, but it's also cost effective and allows for target advertising. And as we can see with the statistics provided, social media advertising has an effective rating of 38% as opposed to traditional marketing, which only sits at 26%. The channel through which our app can be purchased are through conventional means, such as the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The channels through which we will deliver our value propositions are through a simplistic and user-friendly design of our app. As we can see on the docking system, there's very easy access to 4 items. The first being messaging. This allows and encourages users of our Uni-Verve app to maintain and develop relationships within the Uni-Verve community or the Uni-Verve family. It also allows easy access to activities, which will allow users to browse, book, and pay for activities that they'd like to participate in. For example, a trip to the spa or a trip to the sports and adventure unit. Thirdly, there's very easy access to shopping, which will allow our users to purchase groceries and pay them through the app without having to go physically into the store. And finally, there's very easy access to help, which is vital when our users may need assistance immediately. In terms of the channel for receiving feedback, we've chosen 2 main methods. The first being conventional means of leaving feedback through reviews on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And the second being tagging and A/B testing. A/B testing is when we put forth 2 variations of one feature. One variation to 50% of our users and the other variation to the remaining 50% of our users, and to see which one has a better response rate. The feature with a better response rate is the one that we will include in our app. The reason for choosing this unconventional means of getting feedback from our users is due to 3 main reasons. The first being that the loudest customers don't always represent the majority. The second being that uni students really have no incentive to leave informative reviews. And the third being that A/B testing does produce very successful results. For example, the company that created the game SimCity actually increased their sales by 43.4% simply by removing the promotional offer from their homepage. The reason behind this being that customers simply wanted to purchase the game. No incentive was needed to get them to purchase it. And finally, the channel through which we will provide support to our users. There are 2 main means through which we will provide support. The first being through phone calls, and the second being through live chat. However, we emphasize that this is a last resort as we seek to create an app that's simple and easy to use, so that customers and users of our app can easily maneuver around and use all the functions without actually having to need help. In terms of customer relationships, our team has 2 main focal points. The first being on making it a self-service relationship. The way we go about doing this is by designing an app that is easy to use, that integrates simplicity with elegance, and that automates a lot of our processes. This altogether with the fact that our niche market of customers are made up of a younger generation of the community who have grown up around technology and hence have superior technical skills should facilitate our vision of making a self-service app. Our second focal point is on customer retention. We plan to integrate a social platform onto our app to boost up our customer retention. Now, why will including a social platform boost our customer retention? As we can see from the statistics provided, 15% of the people within an 18 to 24 age group use social media multiple times a day, and 79% use it at least once a day. That makes up 94% of the people within the 18 to 24-year-old age group. And hence this is why by including a social platform onto our app will boost up our customer retention.
John's rock climbing at 3. And it's only $10. Patrick will love that. We're going to go together.
So at Uni-Verve, we've actually looked at two main ways in which we are going to gain our revenues. So the first way is through our social media platform, in which we are aiming to attain our revenues through a model of economies of scale. And the second is through the booking fees that we have in place for the use of some of our additional facilities. So we decided to use our social media platform as the most important way of gaining our revenues. We decided to go with this particular method, as social media is obviously of contemporary relevance in today's society. It's one of the most widely used features of the internet today, and this has been enabled by Web 2.0 technology, which enables multi-way communication, consists of interactive participants, real-time updates, and really a very interactive place to be involved in. So we found that those aged between 18 and 29 years were the most common users of social media. Coincidentally, this is also our target market. We decided to make use of this coinciding age group. So we decided to attain our revenues through a platform that our users are going to be using the most. Through providing our social media platform and having features that we saw just previously with our invite friends link and the chatting tab on the side, we are going to be able to maximize revenues through this network effect, where users are going to be spreading awareness of these activities and revenue gaining features to each other. This is really going to contribute on a wider scale to allow us to gain revenues. The second way that we've looked at attaining revenues is through the booking fees that we have in place for facilities such as booking library rooms. Now, we did think it would be unfair for us to book students for just booking a library room, or just using the a feature that we have, another facility that we have in the Uni-Verve community, because they are in fact entitled to those as being a member. But we decided that it would be fair and more equitable actually for us to be charging students if they were to use these facilities for longer than usual periods or during periods of high demand. And we might have to add an additional charge on there, or also if students want to use a library room for say more than 2 hours, then we'd also have to put a charge on there. We did find that 77% of students actually prefer to go and study at the library over studying at home. So you can see that this is a very popular opinion amongst our users, which are our students that belong to the Uni-Verve community. So this is a great way for us to attain our revenues. Then the question came down to how are we going to enable our students to provide us with these revenues in the most accessible and efficient ways that they would prefer. And we found that students actually preferred mobile payment. So again, we found that our target market, which is those aged between 18 to 29-year-olds, were the most common users of mobile payment systems, and this was their preferred method of payment. So we decided to make use of this and provide a facility that was similar to this, but we wanted to make it customized to our Uni-Verve community. So we have the Uni-Verve Pay system. The Uni-Verve Pay system actually connects students' bank accounts to our system. So when students want to make payments such as, well, in-app payments such as in the booking fee facility, or for any other facility that they wanted to use, those payments will be automatically deducted. We also have a tap and pay system which students can use amongst the many facilities and shops and centres that we do have at the Uni-Verve community, including the local cafe. So they can easily just tap with their phone and pay for services.
Uni-Verve has two main niche markets of customers, the first being university students. They are very important to Uni-Verve because they make up the majority of Uni-Verve's customer base. Their demographic is largely 18 to 24-year-olds who are attending university in Sydney. Now, what do these customers want and need? We can see that friends and family are extremely important. They're at the top of the list in the statistics provided. And how will we meet this need? By having that social platform and that messaging function on our app, we will foster and encourage the development of new relationships within the Uni-Verve community, which will take us one step closer towards our vision of creating 22nd century living with your new family. We can also see from the statistics that having a good education is extremely important to this group of customers. And our app facilitates this through the ease of booking meeting rooms and study areas for our customers. And thirdly, we can see that living a healthy and active lifestyle is also extremely important. By having that, by allowing that ease of booking, browsing, and paying for activities such as gym classes, will meet this need. Furthermore, by having that social platform, it will also have a network effect. So for example, as we just saw with John, when he wanted to attend a gym class, he also dragged his friend Patrick along by using our messaging function. Now when Patrick's friends see him attending the gym class on the social platform, they will also be encouraged to do the same. And this is how we will meet the needs of our first group of customers. Uni-Verve's second group of customers are made up of the Uni-Verve staff. Now they are just as important as the first group of customers because they are users of our app, they are users of Uni-Verve facilities, and most importantly, they form part of the Uni-Verve community and family. Despite the fact that their demographic is wide and varied, they value the same things at work. And as we can see from the statistics of what employees value at work, we can see that having up-to-date technology is extremely important. Now, Uni-Verve already offers this in terms of physical facilities and amenities, which is the pinnacle of what they really bring. But we will also accommodate this by having the most up-to-date technology on our app. For example, the inclusion of the fingerprinting system and the payment system. By including these into our app, we will bring the integration of technology into the daily lifestyles of our users into a whole new level. We can also see that having access to workplace amenities are very important to our users. And by having that ease of browsing, booking, and paying for activities on our app, for example, trips to the spa or grocery shopping, we will bring that and meet that need of our customers. And finally, we can see that they value the access to social media in the workplace. Our app really meets that need by integrating the social platform into it.
Open door. It's a bit dark. How am I going to study? Light on.
We're going to be using a variety of different technologies and resources to make sure that our application is something that students really want to engage in. So when we're talking about key resources, I think it's important to note that we're going to be engaging with a lot of human capital. So we'd like to employ different people to make sure that our app is engaging. So people like graphic designers, data analysts, and app developers will really help us make sure that our application is something that students want to use. In terms of technology, we're mainly going to be relying on the technology that already comes with all the different devices that our app runs on. So if we just see what John was just doing there, he used the fingerprint scanner on his phone to really connect with other people and connect with our application. So that's just an example of how we're going to already utilize the technologies in our devices. Other technology that we're going to be relying on comes with different payment systems that we're going to create, something a bit different to Apple Pay and Android Pay. And we're also going to be relying on things like Web 2.0 to make sure that our application is something that's really engaging and students can communicate with each other on.
Oh no, my phone just died.
Okay, so in terms of the different challenges and risks that we face with our application, I think we all agree that our issues can really be narrowed down to a few different categories. So this would be privacy, security, and situations which are really outside of our control. When we're talking about privacy, our app is something that we want students to engage with, and with that, people can see each other's activity. But just like Facebook and just like other social media platforms, the issue of potential cyber stalking and bullying does come out because of this. So just like Facebook and other different social media platforms, we'd like to have students have the option to really change their settings and personalize it to what they feel comfortable with. So say for example, a student doesn't want to have a very public profile, they can go into the settings part of our app to change it to make sure that their activity is really as public or as private as they want it to be. So this is something that we think really can overcome this issue of cyber stalking and potential bullying. In terms of security, we know that a lot of people lose their phones, and this isn't something that we can necessarily control, but what we can control is to have a function in our app which makes sure that everyone's details, and especially their payment details and personal details, are kept secure. So we'd like to have a similar function within our application to something that Apple has, like Find My iPhone. So we want students to have, or residents, whoever's using the app, to have the ability to log out of the application from a separate device. So say they lose their phone or something, they can just go onto another tablet or something and log out of the application to make sure that no one can really steal their details if they find their phone. A major challenge for us would be to have a situation that we can't necessarily control from the development of our application. So I think for us, we really want to make it clear that while we have done everything we can to make sure that there are safety features built into our application, the ultimate responsibility of a student or user of the application feeling safe lies with them. So we'd like to make it very clear that it's important for students to follow all the laws and rules of the university and Uni-Verve residency to make sure that they're really sensible about what they're doing and how they're acting. Another challenge for us would be outside of our control was, like we just saw with John, there's a chance that a phone will run out of battery and that our app can't really be used if there's no battery on the phone. So we'd like to partner with Uni-Verve to make sure that our application is really integrated into student life. So we'd like Uni-Verve to make sure that they have different power outlets and portable chargers that students can use and really have on hand and readily accessible to make sure that we overcome this issue and that our phones of students can be used at all times.